just saw there footage wise was me putting on the primer coat and then putting on our wall paint. I put 1 coat of primer, 2 coats of the wall paint, and I only did 1 primer coat because it covered it really well, and I thought, you know what, I don't need to do another one. And so then I put on 2 coats of the wall color. I'm not sure what the wall color is per se. I know there's a name for it. Katie would get mad at me if I called it light brown, but that's what it looks like to me. It looks like very, very, very light brown compared to white ceilings, which that brings me to the next thing. What I'm going to do for the ceilings is I'm going to be putting shiplap up on the walls. What I'm using is an LVL board, which basically means that it's plywood, right? So there's several layers. It lends itself to a lot of material stability, right? So if we were to do MDF, if it encounters moisture or significant amounts of moisture, it will change shape. If you've ever seen MDF get loaded up with water, it looks terrible and it ruins the whole entire board. So we kind of want to avoid that just in case. You never know, there's a roof leak. It's a 130-year-old house. I was thinking I would get a laser level for this job, but I'm not going to get a laser level because it's not going to fit in our budget. It's just not going to be something I'm going to be able to put in right now. So I'm going to do it kind of a different way. I'm going to use my big long level, and basically what I'm going to do is just use that straight edge and check for high and low spots, and anywhere that there needs to be spots that need to be shimmed because it's a low spot, I'll just shim it. And it should turn out decent. So I have 2 things left. I have the bunk beds and then the floor. The floor, I'm going to be honest, I'm a little bit nervous about. This floor is pretty beat up. Katie and I are still kind of not sure what we want to do, if we want to sand it down or just repaint it. I personally don't want to repaint it. I like the look of wood, but that's the woodworker side of me who likes the look of wood. Katie is more into the painting side of things. Whatever. We'll figure it out. You'll see. Whatever it's going to be. But right now I'm designing the bunk beds. It's going to be epic. Thanks for tuning in. Please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and the bell notification. That really, really helps us out. And so yeah, enjoy the video. Thanks. Okay, so based on suspicion alone and just visual inspection, I'm going to take my nail and take a hammer, and I'm going to just test where I think the joists are. First task is going to be to get reference lines on the ceiling so I know where I'm at. And these ceilings are tough because you can't use a normal, stud finder with plaster and lathe. One method is to use a magnet, and that way you can locate all of the nails, and there's tons of nails. And so that is one method. Just upon visual inspection for this, you can tell where these studs are, or the joists, and you can kind of just upon visual inspection you can see where shadows are, and you can see it's not even, and you know that the peaks are the stud or the joist, and the valleys are where there is no joist. So getting reference lines are going to be very important, and then from there I'm going to attack. Okay, so I started at the bend of the roof line, and I did my best to level it out. The tricky part is when you're not using a laser line, you can only do sections at a time, and so to really make sure you're level or leveled out across the whole ceiling makes it much more tedious and difficult. But I kind of knew that that's what I was getting into, and so I shouldn't be whining about it. Hopefully it goes well. I'm going to keep plugging away, and I'm going to do the hardest part first on the ceiling, which is where the light is and the fire alarm is, and then where the chimney is, that's really out of level. Yeah, I mean, I'm not super duper worried that it's going to be like dead accurate as far as, you know, as long as it looks somewhat level, I'm okay with it. So, yeah, so let's get after it. Finally, last piece went up. Now what's left to do is fill nail holes, caulk cracks, and sand the nail hole fillings, and then paint. And that's about as exciting as watching paint dry, so we're just gonna fast forward to the finishing shots. you.